Oh, come on! Tēnā koe te hea mana o te komiti o te wharenei, tēnei te mihi atu. Sir, I think the title of this bill ought to be changed, the New Zealand Flag and Related Matters Bill. And I say that because there are many related matters within this bill that have not yet been spoken about. In particular, I want to mihi out to all the millions of New Zealanders that actually carry around a flag with them every single day. And I'm one of them. And I bet that there are many in this house that are too. That's a New Zealand driver's licence. Right. It's got the New Zealand flag on it. And within this bill, Clause 70, that is one of the related matters, and that's why I say that the title ought to represent what's actually in the bill. It's not just about referenda. It's also about related matters. And so one of those related matters, of course, is changing the Act so that the flag that appears on your New Zealand driver's licence can be changed. And there's actually a 6-month period where you can have either if the New Zealand public decide that we will change the flag, then there's a 6-month period when you can have one or the other. My point is that within, in speaking to the title, is that it should accurately reflect what's actually in the bill, and I don't think that the current title, New Zealand Flag Referendum Bill, is sufficient enough to describe the totality of what is in this bill. And so it has many other things, and that's why the words change the New Zealand Flag and Related Matters Bill ought to be its title. I think also, Sir, in the commencement there have been many interesting points that have been made, and my point around the commencement is to have the commencement at the next general election, and that's because it will be more inclusive of a wider New Zealand, of the wider New Zealand public, and I'll tell you why. Only 65% of Māori in my electorate voted. Now, that probably reflects a systemic problem within the wider New Zealand. However, it is important that everyone's view is reflected within this referendum, the first referendum, regardless of all of its faults, and there are many and they have been well canvassed in this debate, sir. But I want to put my hand up to say that it's not good enough to have, and I reflect on another point that was made in this debate, and that is that if there are only 30% of people that turn up for this vote, then I think there should be, we could do some urgent legislation, sir, put it through the House, cancel the final vote, cancel it altogether, because if there is such a low turnout, and I suspect there will be, you know, if it's less than 40%, really, I don't think that can be...
Point of order, Tim McIndoe.
And commencement debate, and this member has not addressed either of those at any stage in his contribution.
Mr. Chair.
I don't need any further instruction. Adrian Ruafi.
Thank you, sir. I think the point is around commencement is that it ought not commence when this is as it's drafted in this bill. It ought to commence to coincide with the next general election. That would be a lot more democratic. And if we're talking about democracy and what's right, and I've heard that word used in this House as well, in this debate, by one of the members opposite, sitting right there right now, actually, that this is about democracy. Well, if it is about democracy, then make it available to all people at the next general election. And the other thing, an alternative one, maybe we could call it the Tini Hea Te Haki Bill. last 2 weeks ago was the Māori language bill, but I'm going for a month. Kia ora.
Kia ora, Mr Chair. Mr Chair.
I call Christopher Foy.